going on, everybody? This is the first ever episode of Halftime of Byron Ryan live on YouTube. We've got, now let's see if I can get these. There we go. We've got Devon over here.
What's going
We got
on?
Fiago down here. And everybody, just to let everybody know, the song that played during the intro, that's the guy singing.
That's you?
That's me, man.
Wow.
Yeah.
Nice.
So he wrote that song. If you look behind his gigantic head,
Wow.
he sold 500,000 records. You said that's a gold record or platinum record?
That's a gold one. Yeah.
Okay, so he's got a gold record with Ludacris and his band that I didn't realize until like when was that? 2016-ish. That Devon, I didn't realize Devon was the singer of that group.
Yeah.
So
Group called
yeah.
Lazy Eye. We're actually talking about doing it's been a long time, but we're talking about doing another record here soon. So,
Which is hilarious because it's called Lazy Eye, and I've only got one eye. So,
yeah.
But everybody, we want to welcome Fiago, our inaugural, I guess that's how you say it, inaugural guest.
Inaugural.
The first ever guest and probably one of the largest followings of all the guests we're probably ever going to have. He is a content monster. This dude comes up with some of the greatest, and even if they're not extremely long videos, he comes up with the most in-depth knowledge in 30 seconds that you will ever find.
Hard hitting.
I appreciate it, man.
But he had, now granted, I'm not gonna lie, you do have the ugliest shirt on I've ever seen in my life.
Come on. We're not rivals with Bayern, to be fair.
I know.
When you prefer me to wear 8060 Munich.
Yeah, then you would definitely get kicked off the stream. But stick with the Hamburg. But I mean, what's going on? How's it going?
Hi guys. Thanks for having me. Hey.
How's your off season treating you so far? You know, how's the transfer window going in your world?
Well, I mean, I do follow the MLS and the Gold Cup and all that stuff, so it's not really an off season. But yeah, it's like April, May, those months is like when I usually go to a stadium every week. So now it's a bit more calm, a bit more relaxed. I'm kind of have the time to do some trips with family and stuff. So yeah, it's good to tune off because the second Bundesliga is already coming back this month. So not really much time to. You don't have to think about that. I do.
When are y'all getting out of that? Y'all keep getting like this close, and then like at the very end, it like gets ripped out of your hands.
It's been 5 years now.
I don't know.
It seems to be like a saga for you. You get so close, and then at the end it crumbles.
It's been the same thing for 5 years now. It's our sixth season down now. I think. I mean, I say that every season, but I think this season is the season. You're gonna love me, and deservedly so. But I'm pretty sure we're gonna go up this season finally. Yeah.
I mean, the thing is I know when you were originally in the Bundesliga, it was kind of the ownership was kind of an issue. The fans, you could tell, definitely weren't happy with the front office and stuff like that.
Yeah, I know.
Has that type of stuff kind of, would you say, clarified, fixed itself, or is it still kind of plaguing the team a little bit?
I'd say I don't know, how long have you been following the Bundesliga and supporting Bayern and stuff?
1982.
Okay. Oh wow. Okay. So that's crazy. That's
I mean,
I was born.
The first time I remember actually sitting down with my grandfather and watching a Bayern match was the 1986 Champions League final, and that was recorded on a VHS tape. You know, those big ass VHS tapes, thrown into a box and then internationally shipped over. So we got the video, and me and my grandfather watched the video about 2.5, maybe 3 months after the game had finished.
You got to remember, Ryan's 56 years old, so you know.
You're joking though, right?
No, I'm only 40. I'm old as shit. So I mean, I was born into the Bayern fandom, but as Devon can tell you, living here in the south of the U.S. and growing up, if you say you're a football fan or here a soccer fan, you're not going to last long in school. So you have to pick like an NFL team, an NBA team, a baseball team.
Has it changed now? Maybe.
Or is it still ridiculously good? You just have to be the same. To avoid that, because otherwise it's American football is the killer over here. But just like he supports, Bayern, I support Arsenal. So
wow.
he's right. But in the States, when he and I were both growing up, because we're similar in age, you get fed. Like we were fed Manchester United. That was all that we saw. Yeah. It was like you would basically Man United versus Newcastle or one of the beer sponsor brands. So because you only got one game a week, and now it's literally it's everywhere.
Well, and the biggest part of that is in the 80s and early 90s. Well, 80s and through the mid to almost late 90s, you would have basically the EPL groups would be out there, but it's because people like ESPN, ABC, CBS wouldn't have to hire an English speaking commentator. So the EPL already had English speaking, so they weren't going to pay somebody to translate the commentary of the Bundesliga, the Italian league, the French league. Right. So that's why the EPL in the US has such a large head start and has so much money in here because it's the easiest one to do it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's still people still laughed at them.
Yeah. Now you've got La Liga, you've got the Bundesliga on. Is that on ESPN? I don't know.
ESPN now. And what I was going to say is, NBC only picked up Premier League in 2015. So we're talking about an 8-year window that has literally exploded the sport. You're talking about viewership on NBC was up like 30% from year over year.
Crazy.
Premier League programming has exploded, and that's why you're seeing it on their subsidiary networks. Once NBC went to Peacock, you had it on USA, you have it on NBC, you have it on and now the other things have expanded. The other channels have expanded, like with Paramount Plus taking all the Champions League programming. Soccer or football is on every day of the week here, whereas growing up, like I said, as an 80s and 90s kid, you were lucky to get 1 to 2 matches a week. So those teams that you gravitated,
unless it was the World Cup. If it was World Cup, you got a lot.
There were exceptions, and honestly, like the first World Cup I remember was '90 with Paul Caligiuri, and the Americans that made an appearance and really shouldn't have and were too early. But then it was here in '94, and of course you had them advancing out of the group with the Escobar goal against Colombia and all those other things. So the sport, to see it grow in America, and you say you're an MLS supporter, so I as an Atlanta United founding member and an original 17, I want to know who you support in MLS and how it. Shut up, you were shut up, Ryan. You were benefiting from Atlanta before Charlotte had a club. I want to know, Fiago, who you support in MLS and what the appetite is over there for American level soccer.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't say I'm an MLS supporter, maybe, but I'm interested in the league. I don't know if you guys are going to be happy with that, but I'm actually a fan of the Canadian teams. Like I went to an
Vancouver
MLS game in 2018, and I've never been to the US, only to Canada. I went to Toronto FC against Montreal Impact back in the days. Now I think they're called CF Montreal. Mm-hmm. Yes. So Toronto FC will be my team. But I play a fantasy football game where you like line up your players from the MLS as well, and they've got a Philadelphia Union team, so I kind of got a soft spot for them as well recently. Okay. So I watch the MLS, but yeah, I'm more as a neutral, but I've got some teams that I like. Atlanta United years back were insane, right?
Yeah, we started out on fire. It's been rough.
Yeah. It's been bad,
but. I do have the pleasure of saying that I got to live and be at a championship where my team won, a cup. So that was really cool in 2018.
Yeah, he can't say that being an Arsenal fan. So
this season, man, here we come. Champions Premier League winning.
Speaking of the MLS, and it's funny that we brought this up in this. I'd planned on filming a video, and I plan on filming a video for the channel. Kind of delving a little bit deeper into it, but I was, how like people go through and they like clean out their emails and stuff to kind of get rid of older emails, stuff like that. Well, I started cleaning out emails and came across one from 2017, December 8th, and it was from a sports agent friend of mine that he had messaged LAFC for me to go do a trial with LAFC as a one-eyed cancer patient person, and then film it all and all of that. That was going to be the beginning of halftime with Bayern Ryan.
Wow.
So this channel was originally going to be a part of like kind of what Mo Ali does and what Fiago does when they go out to places and film a lot of content and stuff like that. But yeah, that's what this originally was about. But that was December 8th, 2017. And and I've got the email from LAFC that was like, yeah, we're gonna talk internally about this, figure out what the best course of action, all that kind of stuff would be. And that would have been their inaugural, like, first ever season following them.
Yeah, I think they came in 2019. But Fiago,
2018.
2018, you're right. Fiago,
but everybody know. Hold on. But you know what happened December 31st, 2017. That would be why I couldn't do that, because December 31st I got my car wreck and couldn't walk for almost 2 years.
Oh,
so yeah, I've got that email of LAFC saying yes, we approve. When can we get you or expect you in LA? And yeah, I ignored that email because I was sitting in a ICU hospital room like, fuck.
Fiago, I gotta know, having traveled around to all the stadiums, in the Bundesliga and Bundesliga 2, what are some of the better experiences? What are some of the worst experiences? Just for
don't ask him that. Don't ask him that.
I actually made a video on that. I don't know if Ryan, you've
seen that video, and I do not want to hear what he's got to say about my beloved Allianz Arena. He went too hard on us. He went too hard.
Don't get me wrong, but I only went to the Allianz Arena once, and that was for the Klassiker. And that other Bayern fans have confirmed to me that it was one of the worst atmospheres.
Yeah,
I don't know.
It was weak.
Were you at that game? Or
was it when 2019 or 2020?
This season. When the 4-2.
No, I wasn't. I wasn't at that one. I was at 2022, so last year's.
Okay.
And it was hyped then because during that one it was, if Bayern wins, we win the title.
Yeah.
This year the reason this one probably was a little bit more low.
Yeah, because of Bayern's bad form in general. I mean, they did win, but still, it was.
And we were still.
They're going to win the title, basically.
The most negative championship season I've ever seen in any sport. Like, you guys are like so down on winning a title. We wanted
at that point we were not happy with the whole Tuchel Nagelsmann way that thing came out. That was Tuchel's first game. So if you look at, like, say the Südkurve, they were not very happy with the firing of Nagelsmann. So yeah, I wouldn't say that really is an accurate judge. The best time to go to an Allianz game, go during a Champions League night, and then you'll see a completely different monster.
Season, I guess. I mean, I've seen Bayern a couple of times away. The away fans in Gladbach, in Dortmund, in a couple of other stadiums, and they were always class. Like, that's the real core, right? The real core fans. Yeah. They are amazing. I love them.
Yeah.
Even when they lost in Gladbach, they drew in Dortmund 2-2. And they were still crazy. They were way better than when they won at home against Dortmund. So I guess it's normal with these big teams at home, big game. You're gonna have a lot of tourists like me at that game.
Mm-hmm. And with Bayern being the size of it is, or the size that it is, you are going to get a lot of, as and people in Germany in general call them tourists.
And no problem. I was a tourist in that game as well myself.
But the thing is they tend to not be as loud. But like when I went to see Leipzig versus Bayern at the Olympic Stadium in Berlin, that was fucking insanely loud on Bayern's end. Leipzig, and Leipzig just figured out, like, they just didn't care.
I would always want to go to Cologne, just because from what I've seen before and after the match, it just looks like
that's mad. That's mad. I went there as well. I went there a day after the Klassiker last in April.
And that's against Gladbach.
That was mad.
Not necessarily about the football, but what about the overall atmosphere and experience? Because I love to travel, so that's my thing. Is like, when I make it over there, what's the best game day experience?
Have you been to Germany at all?
A long time ago. It's been about 15, 16 years, but I plan to get back. So I'm sure things have changed.
I'm not even gonna lie. The best game day atmosphere is either the one on his shirt, during a St. Pauli game.
Oh yeah, that's mad.
Or, and I, for all the Bayern fans watching, I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to fucking say this. Any home game at Borussia Dortmund.
At Signal.
I'm not even gonna bullshit. That place is insane.
That's too good.
And it's just rowdy as shit. But if you're looking for a small one that's kind of rowdy, I don't know.
Yeah, like what's the Fulham? What's the Newcastle of Germany? What's the rowdy?
Gladbach.
Not anymore, I would say. That's my
Not
local
really?
team. I live here. I was born there, but
Okay.
the fans were good a couple years back. Now I would say mid-table in Germany. Frankfurt.
Oh yeah,
Craziest
okay,
fan
yeah.
in Germany, in my opinion. I went to especially on a European night. If you can manage to get a European night in Frankfurt, I went to the game against Barcelona, Europa League quarterfinal last year, and that was the best atmosphere I've ever seen in my life. So that was
ascending too. You can really kind of get behind them because they've got great talent with Kolo Muani and
yeah, they've got a good team as well.
Yes.
They play Europa League or they play.
They're Europa League this year.
Conference League next year. I think they play.
Are they?
Yeah, and that's a competition where they always care about Europe. I think so. They always care more about Europe than about the Bundesliga, so they're gonna go as deep as possible in the competition. And their fans as well. They don't care where they finish in Germany. They just want to win in a cup, and that's so crazy about them. If you manage to get a European night in Frankfurt, that's almost unrivaled. I'm gonna say that.
And it's the same thing as like a European night at Cologne's the same way. Cologne fans travel extreme, and Devon, as far as an Arsenal fan, they'll take over your stadium too.
Your stadium, and you have to make plans for them. Now, how big of a deal is the ascendancy of Union Berlin? Because I know that they're a smaller club, but
fucking hate Union Berlin.
Wow, why not? It was coming.
I hate Union Berlin.
Fiago, I wanted your thoughts on because aren't they in a Champions League?
Hate Union Berlin. Yes.
Yeah, they got a Champions League
for a club that's like just aren't they just 3 years up?
It's insane.
I hate them.
It's insane. When we got down in 2018, the first season of us in the second Bundesliga, they were in that first season. They were the ones who got promoted above us. Mm-hmm. So they were like They were like we were the favorites to go up above them. 5 years from that, they are in the Champions League, and we're still in the second division. Right. That rise is mad. First season they got mid-table. Second season, I think Conference League, Europa League, and then Champions League. They progressively got better. Insane what they're doing with limited funds as well. Now they
buy very smart though.
Yeah, and now
they really do.
Funds, and they got some like who did they already sign? Brandon
Aronson.
US, yeah. They signed
now is that
Chelsea for Fana on loan as well.
Is the Aronson one a loan?
It's a loan,
yeah.
Okay. So I mean they're picking up pretty decent talent for pretty much pennies right now because it's a loan. They're just paying for them. The reason I don't like them is because when they first came up, I was the one everybody was like, who's going to be the surprise of the Bundesliga? And I kept saying Union Berlin, and everybody kept telling me I was stupid, that they're terrible, that they're not going to do this, they're not going to do that. And then they're like top 6. And I was like, yeah. And then Union Berlin fans are like, well, we don't want you to support us. I was like, well, fuck y'all then. Hell with y'all. Go Hertha Berlin. And now Hertha Berlin. It's on Twitter. So, I mean, the thing is as you know, Devon knows, people on Twitter are you don't know if they're actually Union Berlin fans or not. But we can all agree we hate Leipzig. We can all agree on that.
Is this the most open?
Except for Fiago. Fiago looks like he likes Leipzig. I hate Leipzig.
Fiago is
not
this
really. I ranked them last in my video. So
okay, that'll work. Just go to their games because we know what happens like this past season when you attend a game and pull for the team. Make sure every game you go to a Leipzig game, you have a Leipzig jersey on, and they'll lose every game.
Though. I went to the Pokal finale against Frankfurt. Leipzig won that, so.
Yeah, but weren't you pulling for Frankfurt?
I was. So, but I wasn't.
Just pull for Leipzig.
Yeah,
but you got to pull for Leipzig.
Yeah.
See it's the same thing with me with like say when I kind of wanted Arsenal to win because I didn't want the treble to go to City.
Yeah.
So when I was trying to get Arsenal to hurry up and get it done, I have the opposite effect.
Yeah.
So when it's my team, they do fine. When I'm trying to help somebody else, it just ain't working out. But no, But Devin, the feel good team, at least for me, the feel good team of Germany would be Freiburg. I have yet to meet anybody that hates Freiburg.
They just have the weirdest looking logo. It's like a vulture.
Yeah, it's a weird,
It's
like
sort of bird. We don't know.
it's like a jacked up bird. But the thing is like when I go to watch Bayern, it normally never fails. It's going to be Ryan gets tickets to, if Hanover's in the first league, it'll always be Hanover. It'll always be Freiburg, and it's always Frankfurt. Every time I've went to see them play, that's the easiest tickets I could get. Well, and besides like
surprising.
Yeah.
Because here, this is the most important thing as we try to grow the sport in America. It's so regionalized, and with it just being introduced on ESPN and ESPN Plus, it's really easy for people to follow Bayern or follow Dortmund because we see them in the Champions League, but it's really hard to get behind other teams. So I want our viewers to understand, like, yes, this may be a Bayern centric show. I'm an Arsenal fan, so I watch certain teams, but I'm growing in my Bundesliga fan base, and in my fandom as well. Like, I don't have a dedicated team yet. I watch Bayern because they're everywhere. I like Wolfsburg. I think they play an interesting style of soccer, as does Frankfurt. So, but I haven't picked a team yet. I just kind of like watching all the teams. So, how would you kind of tell the American who's starting to see these matches, like, how would you pick a team and run with it? Because as you know, once you pick your team, that's the one you run with.
You can't change. Yeah, you can never change it. That's tough. I don't know.
I mean, it depends on for me, and then I'll let Fiago kind of, because Fiago looks confused at how to do it. For me, it's like, as far as like with you for an Arsenal team, you would be looking for a kind of a traditionalized team that kind of has a little bit of flash, but you're not like, what I'm saying, the Chelsea where you're going to go throw money at a problem, or you're not a Man City where you're just trying to outbid everybody. For me, as far as like for an Arsenal fan, I would definitely go with a Gladbach or Wolfsburg. They've got a rich history, a solid fan base, and they're come on,
history.
Hey, it's not terrible. I mean, you're looking at Arsenal history. Come on.
That's a ton of it, man. Come on.
Okay, all right. Wolfsburg. Okay, if you want to go historically, we'll say Gladbach or Frankfurt.
Okay. See, I was thinking more along the lines.
I mean, because if you're going with a second tier team, it's actually the team that he's wearing. That would be your best one as far as like if you're in second tier. Other than now, Fiago, make sure you correct me when I say this name completely fucking wrong. Kaiserslautern.
That was good.
Did I say it right that time? Okay.
Good.
All right.
That's a good pick as well.
Yeah. And they've got a really cool fucking logo.
They do, yeah.
The fan made stuff with the devil on it. It's cool as shit. But I can understand with the Arsenal thing, the devil may be associated more Man United. So
that's not for the Arsenal fans.
So Fiago, how would you tell, like I said, the novice American about an introduction to teams in the Bundesliga and how to pick your team?
Yeah, no, I think Ryan was pretty right when he said a team, you want to pick your team, a team that has like a solid tradition and a solid history. I wouldn't count Wolfsburg as one of them, to be fair, but I agree with your point. Gladbach is a good choice there. Frankfurt as well, of course. Hamburg. I mean,
Stuttgart maybe.
Sorry,
would you say Stuttgart or
Stuttgart as well?
Okay.
And of course, another team that just recently got relegated, the opposite of Dortmund, Schalke. Huge team.
Yeah.
Recently made.
I'm surprised nobody said Leverkusen, because I know that they typically have really good players, and they're a top two.
They sell for me. They sell too much. For them to stay really good, if they could keep a Florian Wirtz, Frimpong, Diaby, Patrick Schick, if they could keep those guys, or Jonathan Tah and stuff like that, if they could keep them in house, they would be a whole lot better suited for what they're doing. Yeah. But for them, it's one of those things. They really like selling the young guy and then buying the next young guy. If that makes sense.
BTEC Dortmund, yeah.
Yeah, basically the same way.
Even though they don't.
But the thing is with an Arsenal fan, you're the Gunners. If you look at the Hamburg logo, it's kind of a target. So I mean, it kind of works. Get the gun in the target.
Yeah, maybe that.
So I mean, if you're visually stimulated, you got the gun target. But yeah, it's for me, it's the thing of find the one that best fits the club that you already support, and is just like say the German version of that. Now, granted, it might not even be in the top flight. You can look in the second and third flight and still find really deep historical clubs. They just may have run on some bad luck. Just stay the hell away from that other team in Munich.
Explain to the Americans
I'll cut you off.
Why everyone hates Leipzig.
Why everybody hates Leipzig?
Yes.
The same reason why everybody in the MLS hates Charlotte FC.
Do they?
Yes.
They hate Charlotte FC because they're new.
Well, it's because of the same reason why Germans hate Leipzig. They are basically doing the same thing. Let me outspend you, when technically there's supposed to be rules that say you can't.
Well, in Germany, the thing is, German fans are really, really attached to their tradition, to their like football heritage, the culture. In Germany, if your club isn't 100 years old, you're not a club. I'm exaggerating, but you get me. And Leipzig are the opposite of that. They were founded, or basically newly founded in 2009 by Red Bull. Germans don't like when a company owns a club. The fans are supposed to own the club. That's not the case with Leipzig as well. They found a loophole around that 50+1 rule, where basically officially Red Bull doesn't own the club, but they do. And
they're
basically
not 50+1.
Sorry,
they're not 50+1.
They are technically.
They are. They have like 19 members who own the club, but all those members are basically either Red Bull employees or affiliated with Red Bull. So basically
technically they have 473 now.
Or maybe
official members.
Maybe they start.
But they all.
Verstappen is a member of the club.
They all technically, from what I've seen, they all technically still work or have an association with Red Bull. You're not, and if you want to be like, say, if Fiago wants to go, or me or you want to go join Red Bull, at Bayern it costs you, I think it's $50 a year. I don't know what it is at Hamburg, but for you to join Leipzig, it's like 3,700 euros.
Yeah,
and it is by far the most expensive to join, and that's per year.
And they still carefully pick who they're going to accept, I think, because they don't want they do not want their fans to be in control of the club. It's just, I mean, on the pitch or what they're doing with the signings, with a scouting structure, everything like that, they're doing great. We have to accept that. But in terms of the culture, it's a new club, it's a new fan base. They don't really have those ultras yet.
It feels kind of manufactured, doesn't it?
It does, yeah, it does. I've been to some of their games now. I'm not going to lie, Germans will tell you it's worse than it actually is, because they still sometimes fill their stadium. They still even have some flares and stuff, but it feels like they don't really know what they're doing. It's like they just want to do some flares because the other clubs are doing that. Yeah, they just want to be part of that ultra culture, but they're not yet. I don't know how it's going to be in 20 years. Maybe much better.
Yeah,
but now it feels kind of, yeah.
So on that point, what are some of the stadiums that you would say to a tourist to avoid? Like, obviously everybody's going to want to go see the Yellow Wall. Everybody's going to want to go see Bayern Munich. Everybody's going to want to go see the big names. But what would be some places? What would be some places to kind of avoid?
Places that are overrated, basically, or maybe
like going to be crazy trying to get into, super expensive things where there may be other matches close by.
Yeah. I mean, super expensive. Most of the games in Germany are not expensive. That's a good thing. Not even at Leipzig. But I would like, if you have a limited time in Germany, limited budget as well, and can't visit too many stadiums, don't waste your time going to the east and trying to pick up a Leipzig match. Doesn't make sense. There's smaller teams that are doing well, that deserve their spot in the Bundesliga, but like Heidenheim, Darmstadt, clubs like Greuther Fürth, then they were in the first division as well. Got relegated now, but those kind of teams, even Wolfsburg, I would say, don't waste your time visiting them.
Yeah, because it's kind of out there in the middle of nowhere, though.
It's a bit in the middle of nowhere, and it's not the greatest fan base as well. It's kind of small town. I mean, the town is basically just Volkswagen, manufacturing town. Right. Everybody who lives there.
That is their fan base.
That is their fan base. So it's not. It's kind of a made-up town, but Yeah, I mean, in terms of picking a team, if you want to visit the team, then maybe you should also focus on which team is located in a nice city that I want to visit, maybe. And they're the teams that can surely.
And that's why Stuttgart and Frankfurt and all those other the cities kind of have the draw. To any because you kind of
Stuttgart really doesn't. Stuttgart has a couple of teams.
Right? Munich is of course a beautiful city, obviously.
Yeah, but I mean, even in Munich, you've only got Bayern. You've got those fucking pieces of shit on the other side of town. You've got the Turkish team. That's about all you've really got in Munich. Then you could go up to like Nuremberg, out to Augsburg. You know what I'm saying? Bavaria has a decent amount, but like if you were say like, hey, I want to watch the most football matches in like say a week or in a small time frame. To be honest, Hamburg, because you got Hamburg, St. Pauli, and then right down the street you have Berlin, which has Union, Hertha, and then like 5 or 6 regional clubs. But you can, in that little area at the top of Germany, it's easier to access, at least as far as for when I went, because you can get on an ice train and be in Hamburg in what, hour and a half
from Berlin. I think an hour and a half or 2 hours. And
I appreciate it, man, because it's just cool to hear it. Because, like I said, when you see the league for the first time, and like I said, we get the matches for champions, and we just starting to get Bundesliga on a full-time basis, and it's every match. You turn on ESPN Plus on a Saturday, Ryan.
You're overwhelmed, right? What are these teams?
Yeah. We're getting Augsburg versus Dortmund and Schalke versus Frankfurt. You're just like it's overwhelming at first because I haven't picked a team yet. So it's kind of if you still haven't picked a team yet, it would be like, holy shit, which one do I watch? Because and the thing is in the US you have, what is it? I think it's like 8 games or the morning games, and then you have, and they're all at once, and you look at the bottom of your screen and it's like, okay, well, I don't want that one, I don't want that one, I don't want that. So you're like scrolling from side to side trying to figure it out. For me, it's easy as hell. It's okay, Bayern, and then we're done. But the cool thing about ESPN Plus, and the thing is, and I didn't realize until I went to Germany, you have to go through Sky and then DAZN and then all these other channels to get this and this and this and this, and then you may get one that's on free TV or over the air TV, and it's like
it's usually on free TV.
Yeah, so like you're spent for people in Germany to be able to watch it. It's the same as like in the UK and other places. They are paying a shit ton. But for us, for ESPN, ESPN Plus is $5. Well,
that's
$6.
That's incredible. We pay. I mean, there's some discounts and stuff, but you usually end up paying like $70 or $60-70 a month if you want to watch all of the Bundesliga. Wow. Which we always paid like 30, and the UK was like 100. And we always said we never want to go to UK levels. Now we're almost there, and that's pretty sad. But
people are freaking.
But at least you don't have the Apple TV bullshit that the MLS has.
That's only $100 for the full season, right?
Yeah, but the thing is if you have an Apple device, you can watch it in like say a regular full screen mode, like on an app. But if you don't have an Apple device like me, who has an Android, who has, pretty much Samsung, Android, everything, we have to watch it through the mobile browser.
Okay, that's
and because and everybody, Fiago, you're young enough to know how badly that is. But some of the old people like me, it's like, dude, this is terrible, because I'm not paying $100 for that, and then it's like, because you pay for the basic Apple TV package, then the MLS is on top of it, or you just pay for MLS and you don't get all the Apple TV movies and TV shows. So I mean, with that, I don't like that, because the MLS used to be on ESPN, so it was a part of the ESPN Plus world, and then it's easy. You could have like say Atlanta United versus LAFC on ESPN, and then have Toronto versus Philly on ESPN2 on like a Saturday night.
But Ryan, that hasn't missed, man. Come on, dude. Silo, Ted Lasso, Fucking.
I don't know what any of that
Some good
is.
stuff on there. Ted Lasso's all right.
I don't watch Ted Lasso.
It's amazing. You need to watch.
I have a Samsung Android. Why would I want to watch? I'm not cheating on my Android for you people.
My God. Welcome to the non-Stone Age, bro. Come on, join the Apple revolution, my friend. Join.
No. I will take my Samsung that I've got 100 times zoom.
You gotta break the deadlock, Fiago. What are you thinking, man?
I'm an Apple guy. Always been.
That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about.
Go St. Pauli. Okay, but let me. I was looking at some of the comments. Somebody had asked me in sort of roundabout terms. No, I'm no longer associated with the Bayern View. There's a little creative differences. So no, I'm not on Bayern View anymore. We had somebody say, where was it? Somebody said I was showing my age. Shut up. I'm not that old. So guys, if y'all have any questions for Fiago or Devon or anything like that, go ahead and throw them into the comments because I know we're 30 minutes in. I don't know how long we got Fiago tonight.
I have a question. Fiago, what's next? What are you working on right now while he's doing the scroll through the questions? Like, what are you working on right now? What's in the cooker?
What I'm working on?
Yeah.
In terms of the trips, stadiums and stuff?
Just whatever you're working on. What's next on the Fiago docket? Give me a preview into whatever's next in your world.
All right. Well, I'm actually trying to figure out for next season. I'm trying to focus on more underrated teams and clubs that I'm going to visit.
Okay.
I've done most of it in the top 5 leagues now. A couple of teams maybe still on the list, but I'm actually interested in visiting countries like within Europe first. Turkey, Greece, whatever, Portugal, the Netherlands, Denmark, they're like teams that don't really get as much recognition, but still have like crazy fans, crazy ultras, and check those out. And that's most of my travel is going to be in those countries outside of the top 5 leagues in Europe next season.
I'll go live from the Johan Cruyff Arena. I want to see.
I've been there. I've been there already in March. That was crazy, and that was one of the games where I saw non-top 5 league football actually rocks as well in terms of the fans.
Well, I'll give you 2 teams you've got to check out.
Okay.
Now, one's in Israel, so I don't know if you classify that as technically Euro.
It is UEFA, so
I don't know if you classify that as going that far just yet. But Hapoel Tel Aviv.
Oh, not Haifa. I thought you were going to say Maccabi Haifa.
Nah, Hapoel Tel Aviv because they were at TST, the 7-on-7 tournament. Yeah. So we met a couple of the younger like U19 guys and stuff like that. They're a really decent like run. Now, granted, this is basing it off of a 7v7, but Hapoel Tel Aviv is one. The other one is Como 1907
in Italy.
That has Patrick has Patrick Catrone. Met Patrick Catrone and Cesc Fabregas and some of the guys like the media guys, and they are just based off of like say the fans themselves that showed up. They flew 50 fans to North Carolina from Como to support the guys. So I mean, it between them and Tel Aviv, they were the only 2 that really had kind of like that.
Support
that true European supporter feel. Como had the big flags. They were doing their English version of chants. But yeah, that's a team. And plus, it's Lake Como. What's bad about going to Como in Italy? I mean, their stadium's right beside the lake. Can't get any worse than that.
I know we kind of shit on them earlier, but what about a place like Salzburg? Like an RB Salzburg match for the Austrian League.
I've seen a few. I haven't been in the stadium, but like we were going through Salzburg during the match. That was a lot of people around that stadium.
Yeah,
I hadn't expected something of that magnitude. But the thing is, you got to think most of the games that I've watched were in Munich or in Berlin, Stuttgart, stuff like that, or like I watched Bayern play at Arsenal. So I wasn't expecting like in Austria to see something like that. But I also wasn't prepared to see when we went to Verona Hellas Verona, I was blown away by the support that even that tiny of a team, and I say tiny, but that's compared to like AC Milan or Inter Milan.
Yeah, no.
But I mean, it's a nice little area.
Now you got me thinking. Dream Stadium. You only get one. And it can't be one you've already been to. Fiago, what's one dream stadium that you want to go to? I know mine. And
I know mine as well.
What is it? Go ahead.
Mine is actually La Bombonera in Buenos Aires, Boca Juniors.
See, I want to go to River Plate.
No way.
I want to go. I would go see the
Monumental. That was yours.
Yeah, River Plate is.
Let's go. Yeah, I want to see that game, the Super Classico in Argentina. That is, if I could pick one game, that would be the one. I think. What do you think, Ryan?
So y'all are gonna throw me under the bus. Jesus. Let's see. As weird as it sounds.
Oh, so you're that guy. You're a River Plate guy. Okay.
I'm gonna go off the sideline. Y'all want River Plate and all that kind of shit. I want to go watch the Bayern women.
Okay.
Play Wolfsburg.
Ooh, nice.
But it has to have stipulations. The the women's Bundesliga or Die Liga title has to be decided in that game.
I mean, they are the best teams in the women's Bundesliga.
Yeah.
Right? The two.
But
best.
the thing is I want to be able to see that because those are by far. I've seen the Bayern women play. I've seen them play Frankfurt. I've seen them play Potsdam. So I mean, I've seen them play a lot. But that would be up until we find out what, like, say, if Dortmund gets a women's team, how that kind of.
They do. They have one, but they're just coming up from the lower divisions, right?
Okay, so it's the same as the Madrid women then.
Yeah.
They're working their way through.
Rock bottom, and they got relegated, got promoted every season so far, but they're still in the third division now. Whatever. I don't know how many divisions they are.
I mean, honestly, other than that, it would be the German women versus the English women at Wembley again. Okay. Because that was crazy to see 90s. No, I watched it on ESPN.
Okay.
So I mean, watching 90,000 people watching a women's game, that I want to see that in person. Yeah. To watch who was it that played Barcelona in Camp Nou? And there were 90-something thousand. That wasn't Madrid, was it?
I think.
Was that what it was? The Champions League? Okay.
I think so.
Oh, yeah.
So, because I mean, when Bayern played Barcelona, we played it in the Allianz, and the entire lower bowl was completely full.
Yeah.
Minus, as you want to call them, the people in the white dresses.
Yeah, you're right. They don't turn up for that one.
No.
The telecom.
But that is the weirdest thing to see in person.
It is. Yeah.
Like if you know what it is, you're like, okay, that's the telecom people. But then, like, if you don't know what it is, you're like, okay, why are those people dressed in white? You know what I'm saying? It's like the weirdest thing, and you'll get like people that aren't from Munich or haven't really been to a game in person, and they're like looking at it like, what are those people doing? It's like, I don't know. They're about to burn something. I don't know. So, I mean, it's fun as shit. Because, I mean, you scare them for a second, but overall, they're the funniest people.
You said the one that I wanted to say, obviously, was Buenos Aires. But outside of that, I was thinking, in terms of, like, smaller, more intimate venues, the stadium that has like confounded me that I've always wanted to see, and I wonder if it's on your trip, is I want to go see a match at the Velodrome with Marseille. I think that Marseille's stadium, their appeal, being in the south of France, just the way that they play, I think that's the stadium that if it's not on your list, if it's not,
it is. You're right. I haven't seen a game in France. No, only French teams away. But if I want, I could pick one game in France, I wouldn't.
Marseille versus PSG.
I would pick that game, but in Marseille for sure.
Oh
yeah. They are the craziest fans in France. From what I've seen, Frankfurt went there with in the Champions League this season, and they shot fireworks at each other from one stand to another, which was mental.
Yeah.
it's actually dangerous in there.
The greatest thing is the Marseille fans love the Bayern fans because we beat PSG in the Champions League.
Yeah.
So like the craziest thing was like every time we beat PSG, especially in the Champions League final, Marseille fans were celebrating like they had just won the Champions League, but it was like, no, the only reason you're doing that is because PSG didn't win, but we'll take it.
And hate each other. They hate each other like barely any other clubs in that world.
You saw what happened.
PSG.
You saw what happened with Lucas Hernandez, right? The PSG ultras.
What did they say? They said he has to like burn a Marseille jersey or something.
No, they said that it doesn't matter what he does; they'll never support him, and they'll make sure they know they will never accept him.
Did they
because
say
you
that?
know, yeah,
He's from Marseille,
it came out on their like the Marseille ultras type page. But they said, yeah, we'll never accept you. You'll never be one of us just because you're wearing the jersey. You know what I'm saying? And my thing is the way he just treated Bayern, I could give a shit less. But I mean, I didn't realize like his father had played for Marseille. That's the part. I knew he was from there, but I didn't realize his father had played there.
Yeah.
So I mean that was one of those things. Once I figured that out, I was like, why in the hell did you go to PSG then?
Funny.
I mean, that's kind of, after everything Bayern did for him, as far as sticking with him with the injury, sticking with him through his legal horseshit, and then the first chance he gets, he's like, oh, I want to go. And it's like, okay, yeah, pack your shit and go. That's fine. Hopefully we draw you at some point in the Champions League because we got a little Kim Min Jae that we're going to slide to you there, boss man.
That's probably an upgrade, to be fair.
Honestly, Benjamin Pavard would be an upgrade because he's healthy. I mean, any center back, anybody that can play 11 games in a row is fucking an upgrade.
What is the deal? He's not wanted by anybody else, and he's not wanted by you. But you seem to love him as a player, and everybody else seems Pavard. Everybody else sees him as a head case. Like everything that I'm reading is the front office wants to move him. The team doesn't like him.
The front office doesn't want to move him. He's basically told the front office he kind of wants to leave. And I think that all goes down to it still stems from basically me following everything. It stems from the pandemic. Him being clamored up inside all that time, that really, really, really fucked with that dude's head. And it's taken him forever to get out of that. So I think the thing is when he goes back to his apartment, even though it's in Munich and it's fucking massive, but he still goes back to that dark side. You know what I'm saying? If something tragic happens to you in a room or in a car or something like that, you don't want to go back to that. So the thing is he wants to
move on, right?
Yeah, he wants to get out of that mind space. And I don't blame him because I've been down that mental health route and it can tear you to shreds. But the thing is the kid's class. He makes some dumbass decisions every now and then with a tackle, but overall he's a monster. I'd love to keep him. But the only bad thing is a lot of fans don't like him because when they I don't remember if it was Kicker or somebody like that had asked him, where would you like to move? The first words out of his mouth was Barcelona. So when you say Barcelona and you're still wearing a Bayern jersey, fans those two fan groups, even on Twitter, that's probably where it's the worst.
On Twitter, that's the biggest rivalry.
Yeah. And I don't understand why. They've beaten us like twice. We've beat them 10 times. So it's like, why is this even a rivalry on Twitter?
I don't know.
Like it's so bad that like the Bayern fans and the Dortmund fans combine to attack the Barcelona fans, and then the Madrid fans are like, yeah, screw y'all, we're joining the other two. So it's like, you know what I'm saying? Everybody gangs up on Barcelona.
It's the world against Barca.
Yeah. And the only bad side is you get the messy fanboys that jump into it. And when you get the messy fanboys, you know, there's only one group you can call. And it's either, two groups you can call. It's the Ronaldo fanboys, which I despise them. So I call what's the music called? BTS? What's that shit?
Oh God, the K-pop kids.
Yes, you call the K-pop kids.
Oh my God,
you call the K-pop kids? It's in debates with the Messi fan base.
Damn right. You realize how badly you can ratio somebody if you tell them like, "Hey, this dude called BTS crap, bro." They will ratio the hell out of them, like to the point of like some of these kids won't even like do anything.
and
But
the show
it,
went off the rails.
well, I've just got to make sure, like for me, I have to make sure how old the kids are that I pick on Twitter because I don't want to get like a message from like a mom that was like, "Hey, you made my son cry." In like 10 different languages. And it's like, I don't want to make 10 different kids cry in 10 different continents and countries. I don't need moms writing me that type of stuff.
All of Ryan's tweets and IG posts comes with that long ass disclaimer as the first comment. It's literally like, this is my opinion. Fuck what you think about it. You know, it's
well, the crazy thing is I got I guess it's a call to action. But the thing is it was like a disclaimer on this post. We talk about football. Football's an emotionally driven sport. There may be foul language, there may be high emotions, but at the end of the day, like this, that, and the other. Well, I got that off of Arsenal Fan TV because they used to post that right as every fan channel thing would come up. They would have like a big thing in the middle. It was like disclaimer. The opinions here are the opinions of the fans themselves. Football's an emotional sport. And I'm like, wow. Okay. Yeah, I need that. But so I put it on well, if you look at like the way that I go at people on Twitter sometimes.
I should pay attention to that. Haven't focused on it too much of it. But Twitter is wild. I mean, you can say basic stuff and get bullied.
Why do you follow Hamburg?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't even live here. I wasn't even born there. I didn't grow up there, so it's a better question. I started to watch football regularly watch football at like 6 years old, 2007, 2008. I'm born 2001. Mm. So back then, Hamburg were like, I don't know if you remember, but we had like players like Paulo Guerrero, Mladen Petric, Ivica Olic, who joined Bayern later. Good attacking trio and stuff. We made back-to-back Europa League semifinals as well. So it was a good time. I don't know. Don't want to say that's why I support them, but I had to pick a club,
right?
And for me, it was just I think I picked on based on color. To be fair, favorite color was blue. I mean, I was like 5 or 6. To be fair, none of my family or friends supported Hamburg. I was like, who am I going to support? I picked Hamburg. Random choice, but then I could never change it. So supporting them, it's gone downhill.
Is it hard to watch a team? Because I know if a team gets relegated in the Premier League, it's almost impossible to find their streams. You have to dig. Is it hard to find a team if they get relegated? Is it hard to watch their matches over there?
In Germany? No. It's the same broadcast as Sky. They broadcast most of the Bundesliga and they broadcast all of the second division. So it's actually better for us. We don't have to pay for multiple subscriptions now. Only Sky, and it's actually the first and second division are broadcast like every single game. So it's no
and you can, and in I don't know about in like Gladbach or anything like that, but in Munich you can get the third league and the regional league on what is it, Magenta TV?
It's on. Yep. Yeah. It's on.
Yeah.
It's just
because they're a sponsor of both of those, right? Magenta TV. Yeah. So I mean, the thing is basically you can get the regional leagues and the third league on Magenta TV.
Yeah, you can get down to the 4th tier. You can basically watch every game.
Cool.
So
and in the US, you can get a lot of that as long as you VPN it. You can still get it.
I just feel for Southampton fans and Leeds fans, and with Leeds being so driven with United States players now losing them.
Do you not have any access to championship games?
We do, but it's so limited. There's like a couple of games on ESPN Plus, I believe. But because the streaming deal with Premier League is through Peacock or NBC Universal Peacock, Xfinity, whatever the continuation of corporate names is after that, but it's through Peacock. And most of the games are either on Peacock streaming or USA. That's where you get Premier League. But when it comes to championship, I think it's like 1 or 2 matches a week on ESPN Plus.
Yeah.
So
it's kind of like the 2 Bundesliga. We get 3 games per week, but as long as they're big games.
Okay.
Yeah. And the crazy thing is you have to get like it's a Hamburg versus somebody.
Hamburg
It's
versus Schalke, the European game. I guess you get that.
yeah.
Get that.
Yeah.
With Schalke, with Schalke being down there, we'll get it'll be like Hamburg versus Schalke, St. Pauli versus Schalke, Hamburg versus St. Pauli. You'll get a Kaiserslautern every now and then. But
when
the crazy
down, you'd get a bunch of Cologne matches when
But the cool thing is one of the guys that actually does the Bundesliga games in the second division is Ian Joy, who used to play at St. Pauli.
Okay.
That fits well.
He was like the voice of the Bundesliga when Bundesliga was on Fox. And now he's actually the play. I think he's still the play-by-play guy for NYCFC because he lives in New York. But every time you would always see him on TV, it would be a St. Pauli mug. He would have like a St. Pauli picture behind him. I think he's got the skull and crossbones tattooed on his back. He's got the St. Pauli ring and all that stuff. Yeah. But I mean, he played there for I think it was 4 years, 5 years. But the funniest
Justice Club, right? Like to explain to people, like St. Pauli is truly like the social movement club. Like they
pretend we've gotta be that's what I was gonna say. You've got to be careful. You've got a Hamburg fan here.
Okay.
The world looks at St. Pauli one way. Hamburg fans look at them a different way because they kind of know them a different way.
The hard-hitting questions. What is St. Pauli to Fiago?
To be honest,
half of his fan base.
We have Werder Bremen, we have St. Pauli. St. Pauli is the city rival. Werder Bremen basically the rival for biggest club in the north.
Right.
I despise Werder Bremen more than St. Pauli because St. Pauli is still Hamburg. I love Hamburg as a city. But they're kind of the annoying little neighbors that always want to act like they're the number one club in the city when they're obviously not. Never finished the season in the history above us. Never, ever. And they like the socialist club, the club of the people for the club against profit, against money in football, yet they're one of the clubs with the highest merchandise revenues in Germany because of that skull merch that everybody wears to be.
Right.
Well, the other thing with St. Pauli is they sell a lot of stuff to American soccer fans, we'll just say, because in America it's soccer. But American soccer fans buy a lot of St. Pauli gear because it's the like I even own a St. Pauli t-shirt. Mine says it's the one that's punching the swastika.
Yeah.
The one that says like down with the right or something like that, and on the back it has like the big saying and stuff. So the thing is like that type of stuff, because in a majority of MLS, I'd say supporter groups, which would Germany, there just would be classified as fans. I guess they would be like maybe 3 or 4 tiers down from like say an actual ultras group, like the Sud Curve, Nord Curve, that type of stuff. They're nowhere close to that level. Atlanta's close. The 3252 in LA are pretty close. Timbers Army, those guys could last in maybe say the second Bundesliga and be able to hold their own as far as a fan base. The team, no way in fucking hell. But because they're more left political leaning, they like the way St. Pauli comes up with the more left leaning things on their shirts and that type of shit.
Timbers, they're more like a Timbers style because Portland's very
yes. I wouldn't say Hamburg is a left leaning city like Portland,
but St. Pauli is leaning.
St. Pauli is. St. Pauli is
very.
Yeah, that little area of Hamburg.
Well, so Bayern are friends with St. Pauli as well. The fans.
Fiago, have you been to any MLS stadiums? Have you been to any matches over
here? Only Toronto.
You gotta come to Atlanta, man. You gotta come to Mercedes.
Yeah. I want to go to the US. I mean, definitely 2026. I will be there for that whole month. I hope.
Yeah.
You're not coming in 2025?
2025?
Club World Cup.
Yeah, Club World Cup.
Ooh, maybe. I was planning actually 2024 Copa America.
Yeah, fuck Copa America.
In the US? No, I'm actually trying to make that.
Nah.
It all depends on
a lot of stuff going on in the US in the next year. So
it really all depends on the cities, because like if you get stuck, you get stuck going to Columbus, or if you have to go to a Foxborough, You know, nothing against those cities, but like there's much better places. Atlanta is an amazing place to see a match.
I wanted to do an East Coast tour anyway, so
yeah,
especially because at Inter Miami, I was maybe gonna do like fly to New York and then go all the way. I don't know. It's long. The US is obviously huge.
Yeah,
I don't know how many weeks.
That's a long drive.
It's a lot. I mean, like in 3-4 weeks maybe. New York.
Oh yeah, you could definitely make that in a
Philadelphia, Washington.
You can make it New York to Miami in 20 hours if you want to. Hustle.
Yeah, but I want to see something. I want to check.
But if you're wanting to stop on the way down, I mean, you could start in New York and watch an NYFC game. If in the perfect world, as far as like when you come, right? In the perfect world, if you could find like say that 3-week time frame as far as like an MLS tour, you could do. You could start in Toronto, move down to NYCFC, then to Red Bulls, then go down to Philadelphia Union, DC United, Charlotte, Atlanta, Orlando, Miami.
That's a lot of teams right there.
That's all the East
Coast. Yeah, and that's pretty much. Well, minus we're not counting the Revolution because the Revs they're a decent team.
Where are they based?
Foxborough. Like Boston.
Boston.
Is it Boston area?
Boston. Yeah.
Okay.
But the thing is because the game is so far outside of the city, it just doesn't make sense.
Okay. Dallas
isn't anywhere near Dallas. They actually play in a town called Frisco. So FC Dallas is actually like an hour outside of where Dallas, the metropolis, is. So a lot of people, like LA Galaxy, don't play in LA, and Ryan stirred that hornet's nest because they're in LA County, but they're in Carson, and LAFC plays at USC's property, which they were given. So it's just you stored all kinds
of and my thing is it's like everybody was already mad at me because I told them I wasn't going to pay for the Athletic, and everybody got all pissy with that. And then I paid for the Athletic, and still nobody gives me shit for it. So somebody was like they had some flares at the LA Galaxy LAFC El Trafico game, and they were like, "Could you imagine if I told you that this was a fan group out of LA?" But it was the Galaxy. I was like, well, fucking, they're not out of LA.Ere out of Carson. And the lady's like,
oh, man.
That geography argument is so played out. I was like, give me a break. It's the same like if you talk about like say if you talk about Berlin and you're talking to a Hertha fan, they're gonna say literally that same thing about Union Berlin. They're gonna be like, Union's not in Berlin.
Yeah.
You can have Hamburg. They're going to be like, well, technically St. Pauli is on the outskirts of town. It doesn't really count. So, I mean, you're going to get that when you have like St. Pauli fans. Granted, it's on Twitter.
St. Pauli fans will say that about us, to be fair. But
yeah.
Because they're in Hamburg. We're also in Hamburg, but yeah. No, I get that.
But, I mean, the thing is like every team, and it's weird that like the Bayern's fans gravitate to the team that's not in blue. So it's like, you know what I'm saying? It's just the oddest thing. Like, and I didn't realize that like in 2019, went to watch the game at the Grunwalder Stadium. After the game, I guess you're supposed to, if you're a Bayern fan, get in your car and leave. Get on the train and go, because you're technically in the damn metroplex of 1859 fans. I've gotten into it with them at a bar because fuck them, I don't care. I wanted a beer. Didn't care that their logo was on the bar, and everybody looked at me and they were like, "You're not supposed to be here." I said, "Do you serve beer?" Yeah. I was like, "I'm supposed to be here." So the crazy, I don't know. Have you seen the 1859 rapper? The guy that talks a lot of shit about Bayern. He's kind of like
what's his name?
I don't remember his name.
I got to hop soon since it's dinner time.
Okay. We'll go in about. Can you do 10 more minutes?
I got 5. I can definitely do 5.
5 will work. But basically, when I walked into the bar, there was a 1859 rapper that talks a lot of shit about Bayern. He came up to me and was talking a bunch of shit, and then I took my glasses off, and he's like, "Oh my God, you're the dude with the eye." And I was like, yeah. He's like, can I get a picture? I was like, bro, you were the one talking shit on Instagram at me for like 3 months. And then in person, you're like, can I get a picture? So yeah, that way it ended well. About 3 nights later, walking through the Marienplatz, a group of their far right ultras, we'll say, decided to spit on my jersey, call me a dirty Jew, and tried to fight me. So yeah, I did get a nice WhatsApp message later from a couple guys within the Sud Curve. Dudes beaten to shit, laying on the ground, and they sent me a picture and said, "It's okay, Ryan, we handled it." Yeah,
well, that's the other side of German ultra culture.
Yeah, and I love that part though.
Have you ever seen anything like that, Fiago? Like, are there any clubs that their culture is extreme of that nature?
Wearing the shirt. Their ultras are not to be. Hey, don't lie. Hamburg ultras are not to be fucked with. Them dudes are badasses.
I mean, that goes for all German clubs, basically, all the big ones. But I don't want to. I have to watch my mouth now because
he lives there. We can't throw him under the bus like that.
I'm just gonna say what the Frankfurt fans did in Naples, in Napoli. You don't want to mess with them. You don't want to mess with them. That's for sure. I would say they are the most fierce ones. Let me put it that way.
I'll give you that.
Because, now every team facing Frankfurt, even the craziest ultra like West Ham, who were known to be crazy and wild, they got beaten up there.
Yeah, they got battered.
Physically beaten up, not just on the pitch.
Wow.
So Frankfurt, you've got to watch out for them. Like, don't mess with them.
I mean, I messed with them, but people have to understand. Like people like me and Fiago, when we go to a game, we can cut up with ultras. I don't know if Fiago can, but I can. I can cut up with other ultras. They won't beat me up as much because
respect them. I mean,
I mean, the thing is like I've got this tattoo. I don't know if you could see it, which is the Sud Curve tattoo. That may get me beat up in certain circles, but for the most part, they kind of know who I am.
Would you stand in front of the yellow wall
and do what?
Be you?
Yes.
Okay.
I've already told people, if people gave and I did it in 2022. I said if anybody's got ticket to Dortmund versus whoever it was, I was like, I'm in Dortmund to put my eye in the German Hall of Fame. It's like I'm already here. I'll go stand in the yellow. I was like, I'll go stand in the yellow wall with a Bayern jersey on. Nobody will touch me. I already know they won't. Because the thing is like 3 or 4 Dortmund ultras were like, yes, you could come hang out with us. You're not going to act like an asshole, but you can wear the jersey only because we're allowing you to wear the jersey. So, but the thing is that's just one group inside the yellow wall. There's 3 other groups that the minute I walk in there, probably not fucking walking back out. You see what I'm saying? That's the difference between, say, in Atlanta, you have the 17s. It's made up of like 4 or 5 groups. Yep. The 4 or 5 groups are really nice. If you go to Hamburg, you may meet a really nice group. Then there on the other side, there may be 3 or 4 groups that aren't very nice. It's the same thing in Bayern. You may find a nice couple, and I'm talking about couple people, not couple of groups. But the thing is as long as you're respectful to them, they're not going to beat the shit out of you. For me, the Dortmund fans already knew. The Dortmund fans knew I was going to kind of rib them a little bit, but I'm not going to go up there and try to fight fucking 50,000 fans. I'm not that guy. I mean, it hit me in a different way. Like I gave Dortmund shit for blowing the lead. But when you see that footage that ESPN put out and that the Bundesliga put out of how those fans you could see their hearts ripped out of their chest.
Yeah,
I was there.
I'm a rival fan, but it hurt to see that. I was like, dude, I kind of feel for those guys, even though technically I kind of wanted them to win. So maybe we could get people fired, but shit, didn't even take that. We won, and they still fired those motherfuckers.
Is the Bundesliga a 2-team league?
A 2-team league, I guess not, because people clubs like Leverkusen and Leipzig can compete with Dortmund. So if you say 2-team, then you'll have to say maybe 4-team. But if you say 1-team league, then recently
you'd be accurate if you just said 1.
Yeah, you'd be more accurate to say 1, to be fair.
Because I mean, the thing is arguably Union Berlin could beat literally anybody on that list, Bayern included. On its good day, Union Berlin could beat anybody.
But they're not winning a title in the past decade.
They've had their chance, but the issues with Bundesliga teams is, and Fiago may be able to elaborate on it. Gladbach has had their chance to win. They've been up 10 points. Dortmund's been up 10 points. Leipzig's been up. Yeah, Leipzig's been up 10 points. I think Union was up 9 or 10 this year.
Yeah.
But the thing is once that second half of the season kicks in, they don't have the consistency. The issues with, like, say, Dortmund is like you may in the past, Paco Alcácer would get hurt, or Pulisic would get hurt, Reina gets hurt.
Guerrero.
No, Rafael Guerrero doesn't get hurt that often. It would be Marco Reus gets hurt all the fucking time.
Yeah,
but Erling Haaland would go out for a month leading into the first half. Julian Brandt gets hurt.
And even if that happens, they have the squad depth, right? They have like that. The 11 versus 11, Bayern can lose to a lot of teams. But
when you hit that,
can't do it.
Throughout that whole season, it's hard to. This was the best chance Dortmund got this season. Like, this season, they had to do it, right?
Yeah.
But
I mean, and for me, Tuchel isn't the greatest coach on the planet. He could possibly win a Bundesliga, but I don't see him winning much after that. If we get, and I hate the rumors of Harry Kane because I don't want him. I want a Deshaun Vlahovic. I want a young guy that we can build around for a long period of time. Kane is at best going to be good for 2 or 3 years. 2 or 3 years at $100+ million before he starts doing this.
Yeah.
Because at 30 years old, if you're paying $100 million and he's only got 1 year on his contract, you're kind of pissing in the wind.
You'd rather try to get him for free next summer.
No, we'd never get him for free. He's going to United.
You should
it's a better shot.
Try. Yeah, you should still take a shot.
But if you're going to spend that money, go get Kolo Muani. Go get somebody who's already league.
Kolo Muani's not a proven shit.
Or go get Victor. You're not going to get Victor Osimhen because apparently he's 150 million.
No, he's 200 million.
A transition guy this season, like Niklas Füllkrug, a guy
that's what's probably going to happen.
Yeah,
we'll get a Nicholas Füllkrug.
You're not going to go all out for 100 million plus for another player. It's either Kane or
Füllkrug,
a cheap option.
Yeah, so. And Füllkrug's pretty much the best of the cheapest options.
And you were talking about him at the World Cup, basically being the option for Bayern on technically the cheap, but probably the most talent, for the valuation available.
I mean, and until Füllkrug fucking smiles, his teeth all fucked up though.
On that, I got to promise, gentlemen, it's been amazing. Thank y'all so much.
Good to meet you,
man.
We'll
see you later.
Fiago, talk to you soon, bro.
Yeah.
Well, I'm guessing you only have a few minutes left.
It's what time is it even?
It's probably 11:15. Yeah. So we'll go ahead and do the halftime thing that I normally do.
Okay.
We'll go ahead and do that, and then we'll call it a night if that works. Cool. Even though a couple of people in like some of the comments were like, "This should be a regular thing." 3 legends.
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
If we can get you on during the season, that would be awesome to get like your feedback of various clubs, how things are doing, what you're seeing, like when you go.
I'd be down. It's cool to chat with you guys, especially other perspective from people from the US. I always love that, man, especially because I want to go there. Yeah, nice.
Yeah, because I mean, and the thing is like if you're really planning on coming for like an MLS like tour type thing, me and Devon can get you hooked up with 90% of the fan groups.
That's insane.
I mean, we can hook you up with all that garbage. Hopefully you get the good matchups. You don't get like fucking like Atlanta. Hopefully you would get like Atlanta versus Orlando, which is like their big rival, or Charlotte versus Nashville. You don't get like say any of them versus Miami, because Miami's fucking crap. They are a terrible team.
I still kind of want to watch Miami though, because
once they get Messi, Busquets, probably Suarez and all these other guys that show up, it'll be a different team. But right now, they are fucking terrible. Oh my God, they're terrible.
Yeah, are they the worst team in the MLS? Would you say right now?
No,
not that bad.
I'd say Sporting KC is a little bit worse.
Oh, they have a former Hamburg guy, Tim Leibold. Are they this bad?
Yeah, they're that bad. But the thing is they just had bad coaching to start the season. They're getting a little bit better. But yeah, Miami finally got a great coach. Like when you were saying when Atlanta was really good.
Yeah.
Tata was the coach, and now Tata. Right? Yeah, now Tata's the coach of Miami. So the thing is he's linked back up with Joseph Martinez, the striker he had in Atlanta. Now he's got Messi. He'll have Busquets. God knows whatever else. 2006 Barcelona. Yeah, I mean, I could see Ramos going there. Now you've got like NYCFC making bids or getting ready to try to make a bid for Neymar at some point.
That would be crazy.
Yeah, but the thing is like you've got
MLS, bro. Honestly,
the MLS. The only issue is don't watch a Bundesliga game before you go watch the MLS.
No, I mean I know what to expect, right? I mean I don't go there for the crazy flat ultras. It's a different culture, and
I'm talking about like the on field.
Oh,
what we mess up is like watching Bayern or Liverpool or United or Juventus, Napoli, and then we would end up we'd see that at like 9 o'clock in the morning, 10 o'clock in the morning, and then go to watch the MLS at 7:30, and it's like, dude, this looks like fucking a rec league game.
Yeah, I know. I mean, it's
still really good product as long as you catch the good teams.
A couple years back, right? In the MLS.
Oh hell yeah. But they were trying to get out of the what do you call it, the retirement league stigma. Oh well, yeah, they're going right back into that very quickly. But
I'll be comparing it to what I saw in Toronto against Montreal in terms of the quality. Next game, I'm going to be comparing it to that 2018. How they progress. So I guess
massively better. Yeah,
back then,
and they have
Jovinko. He was a big star for them. Scored, I think, even had.
Wow.
So that was a good game.
That's
3-2.
That's been wow. Yeah, Giovinco's. Yeah, he's been gone forever. They replaced him with Insigne and Bernadeschi.
Yeah.
And Bernadeschi's finding out why he kind of should have stayed at Juve.
At Napoli?
No, Bernadeschi.
Sorry.
At Juve.
Insigne,
Insigne fucking loves life. Bernadeschi hates life.
He wants to leave, right? Bernadeschi?
Huh? What?
He wants to leave Toronto again already.
I don't know if he wants to leave, but I know he's the reason they fired their coach. But he's already went out there and basically like thrown the entire team under the bus because the team, when Insigne signed up, the team gave Insigne fucking everything, like deals with clothing companies and deals with this and deals with that. And then when the pay numbers came out, that's when Bernadeschi found out how much he's getting screwed over.
Oh,
and he wasn't happy about that.
Didn't even get close to that, right?
I think he makes right at like in the $4 million range. Insigne makes in the $12 million range. So, but the thing is Bernadeschi's already scored 2 Olympicos against Charlotte. He scores pretty much whenever he wants. Insigne is more of the, and I don't want to shit on him, but Insigne's issue is staying healthy. He's like the Marco Royce of Toronto right now, which
he's also a bit older than Bernadeschi, obviously, but
but we'll go ahead and get these questions out of the way.
Oh yeah,
and then because I don't want to keep you any longer than we got to.
Okay,
but the content that you make, right? It goes out. It covers a lot of people because it's not really club centric. It's not really specific to one base. It's specific to the sport, to the culture itself. even down to the Luis Suarez one, the Spanish Luis Suarez, not the Uruguay one.
Yeah.
So I mean, you hit the historical side, you hit everything. When those fans see that type of stuff, because you have fans like me that look to the sport, look to the players, the games, the moments to get us out of dark points in life. And your content is some of that stuff that can get some of those people not thinking about those dark sides and dark times in life. How does it make you feel to know that there's some of those people that look to you and your content as something that gets them out of like a dark place of a depression or something like that?
Wow, it's a big one. Yeah, no, that's probably the greatest feeling of making content. I don't consider myself as a nearly as important as like some of the really crucial jobs in the world, like being a doctor, whatnot. I'm just a content creator, but yeah, but every single person out there who comments, I mean, most of them won't comment, but some of them comment, "Yo, you're the reason I started watching football," or "You're the reason I get some happiness at the end of my bad work day," whatever. That's the thing that gets me going, you know. I mean, it's not of course the numbers are cool when you get more followers and good views, likes, whatever, but ultimately it's the people that count. And that's why I also love to meet those people in real life whenever I go to stadiums. When someone comes up and says, "Hey, yo, I love your content, bro, I watch your videos, and that's why I started watching football." Sometimes that happens. I mean, it's not happening every day, but that's the moments when I know, okay, I think I'm on a solid track. That's like, yeah, so it means the world, yeah, honestly.
Now, I always follow that question up with this one. For those fans, because your content is along the lines of the going to the stadiums and bringing in different cultures, different areas of the sport, correct? So
Yeah.
you bring in that history, you bring in all that type of stuff. For those fans, right, that look to you as that and I'll even say light at the end of the tunnel for some of them. This is your point because it's halftime with Byron Ryan. You're going to do a halftime speech for those people to get them through that hard day, to get them through that hard point in their life. Because it's very rare when you get a content creator to speak on that motivational side. Once they know that those fans look to them in that light, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I
love that you're touching this topic, man. I that's what you do, right? You do a lot of motivational content, right? No, I love that. No, I mean,
the thing is
sorry, didn't want to
it's oh, you're good, but it's to bridge that gap. Like when they do get into that dark spot, to be like, all right, well, for me, it was try to find that Frank Ribery content, trying to find that Bayern Munich content that just seemed to never be there, or look for that, like say Nick Merckx or whatever Castro, whatever content creator I could find in 2017 after my car wreck, just to kind of keep me pushing forward. You know what I'm saying? There are kids that look to you as that content creator. So now's your chance to be that motivational person for those fans to go forward. Go for it.
Oh wow, I'm not a motivational speaker, but no, but if for people that are in a dark period right now, that's the people you want me to address?
Sure.
Yeah, no, but I think social media as a whole is plays a big role in some people's lives that are unhappy, because you always see the great stuff. Even for myself, you see me going to stadiums, not all the time, but a lot, meeting footballers. You think, oh, this guy's got a great life. I'm happy with my life. I'm not gonna lie, I'm so happy. But every content creator out there, and even all the influencers and stuff, they're just normal people. They also have their problems. Even I sometimes I have a bad day. Sometimes I have periods where I'm not entirely happy. I have dark periods as well. So I think social media is kind of putting this pressure on people to think, oh, these people have great lives. Why not me? Why am I having so many hardships? And that's not the way you should think about it, because it's just what these people show of their lives. I try to put in, especially in the stories, I try to put in or also share when I say, oh guys, today I didn't have a great day. I wasn't so happy. This happened, whatever. So let's just do a Q&A or whatever, connect with the followers to be authentic. But many people, I think, just share the good parts of their life, which is okay. Many people don't want to share the bad parts, but I think this kind of leads people to believe, or the community to believe, everyone has a great life, just not me. But that's not the case.
Yeah.
Everybody has dark periods in life. Everybody has. We all have to try to get past them, and it's friends, family, and also our passion that I think gets us through them. And that could be football, soccer, our team. I think for many people, as I've experienced it, is their football team that gets them through these dark times. Focus on what makes you happy. Focus on eradicating the stuff that makes you unhappy, whether it's like a job that you hate, a person that makes you unhappy, something about yourself, maybe your body that makes you unhappy. I don't know. Focus on improving these things, but I think it's important to surround yourself with things you just love. It could be people, it could be hobbies, it could be activities, it could be going out, nature, having a walk. I take a lot of walks. Sorry if I talk too much, but this is a big topic, I think.
You're good.
Especially in winter, I have that a lot. I mean, I wouldn't call it winter depression, because I think people who are actually depressed is something else. But in winter, I had this last winter. It was when it's really dark. You get up. It's not bright yet. You get back from work, or I work here mostly at home. But 4 p.m. it's dark. I think that kind of fucks with your head. For me, it's often the case. It's cold. You don't want to go outside. Now in summer it's easy, but in winter it's very. I take a lot of walks. I try to go to the gym. Not perfect, but I try to do that as often as possible. The limited sunlight that there is, I try to use it. I think it's little things that you can do to maximize the happiness in your life. And now in summer, obviously, go out with, like, I still work. I do my videos, daily videos, but when the season is not on, it's off season, I'd always try to go to a lake with friends, or have a barbecue with my family, whatever. Yeah, also just enjoy yourself, right? So I think it's a balance between those things. Yeah. Sorry if I.
Oh no, you're good. But and it's that thing of, like you said, people look to a content creator and they're like, oh man, that guy looks like he's got the greatest job in the world. He's just doing this. But what they don't understand is like you said, you work at home. So there are points in time where it's like you're editing videos, or you're filming videos, and you're stuck in the house for hours on end.
Sometimes it gets boring, not gonna lie.
Yeah, it gets boring, it gets lonely,
job, right? It's not just all meeting whoever football or going to that stadium. That's just the highlights, right? But that's the tip of the iceberg. But the actual
they don't all see the craziness under the
And that goes for every content creator out there. Like they all, for everybody who people might look up to, think, oh, he's got the perfect life. Nobody's got the perfect life. But
okay, Ronaldo may have. Sorry? Ronaldo may have a perfect life.
Possibly. But he would even have a more perfect life if he actually won a World Cup with Portugal, probably. So even there. No, I don't know.
Okay, I like that one. I like that. But now I do have to ask, what's the chain? Because I saw that on your Instagram.
Yeah, that's
the chain you got. What is that? That's not the butcher and the whatever that other one is. Like the you don't, do you not know that brand?
It's not a brand at all. No.
Oh, okay. Because there's a brand in Munich that has like it's like a cross with
a fashion brand.
Yeah, it's got like a meat cleaver and like a knife.
Maybe I have to see the logo. No, it's not that though. It's a chain of a. Well, I wouldn't say it's from Munich. It's a chain of a content creator or that I really that inspires me a lot. That was like motivational and also business side content that I'm speaking a lot to, in terms of he gave me a lot of tips to start out back then.
Okay.
This is basically, for me, stands for do your own thing, do what makes you happy. Like this is an X, which means exit from the. It's an X actually.
Okay.
And it stands for exit from the. Well, basically, I think he meant exit from the normal normal life. Basically, do your own thing. Basically, that's what it stands for. For me, it always motivates me when I wear this. So it's kind of a personal thing. People wouldn't really understand maybe, but yeah, it's kind of I can always create better videos when I wear this. I don't know why. It's just I don't know.
Really?
Yeah, for real. I don't know. It's just a head thing. I don't know. When I put this on, I'm like, okay, now I'm making a video and I'm hyped. I don't know. It helps.
Oh, that's the logo. It's the butcher and the barber. That's the one I thought it was.
No, I've never seen
it's a distorted people.
Okay,
that's a
never seen that.
Yeah, it's a brand in Munich. You see a lot of the Munich players wearing it. So I thought that was maybe the same thing.
No,
that's actually pretty badass.
But it's not. That's not it.
Well, good. If it's from Munich, then when we get off here, you got to send me the link, because if it's from Munich, then yeah, I probably need it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was good to have you on. We had some viewers. We got up to almost 15 live viewers, which is pretty good for a first time ever. So yeah, instead of dragging this on for 4 hours like some other people do, we'll allow you to get some sleep since it's late as shit over there.
Yeah, it's almost midnight. No, it's cool. I usually stay up this late, so no worries.
Now, question is, did you finally find the editor that you were looking for on Twitter?
I did, yeah, I did. So,
we're gonna get some new videos with a new editor coming out.
Maybe new style. Maybe. I actually working with someone who I knew before, like a friend. So it's and I didn't know he was doing that. So that fit. So yeah,
that'll work. Well, we'll let you get some sleep.
Thanks for having me. I really enjoyed it, and we have to catch up on that US trip if you're down to give me some more tips.
100%. Nice. Between me and Devon, we can hook you up with every one of the team's primary, like say, supporters group, and most times those guys can get you hooked up with either their comms department, because you may want to film some stuff while you're there, or the supporter groups can kind of 99 times out of 100, with you being who you are, you probably don't have to pay for tickets.
Oh wow.
The supporter groups will probably throw, well, the supporter groups in the US, they're really good about like saying, hey, if you want to come witness it, hey, we'll give you a ticket, come sit with us, party with us. Yeah, the group in Charlotte, the group in Atlanta, 3252 for LAFC, Timbers Army, the Sounders fans. Yeah, they're all amazing.
That's so cool, man. Yeah. I wanted to do like a combo between like genuinely visiting the East Coast, because I find it interesting as well in terms of the cities and the culture there, and then of course also the MLS side. So yeah.
And I mean, and the thing is, if you hit those cities like Toronto, New York, DC, Philly, all that, you basically hit all of like the places in the US that you kind of want to go to that aren't like say Seattle, Portland, LA, but you hit like the DCs, the Phillies, the New Yorks, the Miamis, Orlando, so you get to see Mickey Mouse. And then you have like Atlanta, where basically, I don't know what type of music you listen to or anything like that, but that's like the one of the birthplaces of hip hop outside of like say New York and LA. It's its own genre of music. I mean, Atlanta's got its own way of speaking.
What is it?
I mean, yeah. I mean, like, depending on where you go in Atlanta, you can have like people talking one way. And if you go in another side of Atlanta, you get like a really, really southern drawl.
Even within Atlanta. Crazy.
Yeah. Atlanta is nuts. But the cool thing is if you stop in all those places, everywhere you stop, you have an MLS team, MLS stadium, and then there's stuff to do in the city itself. Like Philadelphia, there's history there. There's history in DC, New York. You know, even though technically NYCFC plays in, I think they play in the Yankee Stadium. So it's in Brooklyn. So I mean, technically you'll get
play in
Red Bull is technically in I think it's technically in New Jersey, but it's only right across the bridge.
Okay, it's not that far.
It's not horribly far from it. But like with I don't know really many people from NYCFC, but I know a lot of people in Toronto, a lot of people in DC. I know the goalkeeper, Andre Blake. You've probably pulled his card.
I love him. I use him on Sorry on the game, yeah.
But yeah, I've got contacts with Andre, so I can hook you up with a contact to him, or tell you where his restaurant is in Philly. Then me and Devon both can meet you in Atlanta. We can meet you in Charlotte. Devon has contacts in Orlando. I have a couple in Miami. So I mean, the thing is like between me and him, we can get you covered in the MLS from whatever. And through the supporter contacts. And that's the good thing about the MLS compared to, like, say, Germany. In Germany, you have like Bayern, who's really good friends with St. Pauli. They're not really great with Hamburg, maybe. You see what I'm saying? Like they don't really get along with this team or that team. In the MLS, everybody is cordial to everybody else.
It's a bit more friendly, right?
That's why when you see a group like there used to be a group in Charlotte. It was like the Queen City Ultras or something like that. I was like, dude, you've got to kill that Ultras word. And they're like, wow. I was like, y'all are way too nice. Y'all don't live that life. I was like, you're not about that life. You're like, way too nice.
You're not one of them.
Yeah. But I mean, there are some groups within the groups that have watched, say, Green Street Hooligans way too many times, or like pretend to be that. But then there are some groups, like, say, in Atlanta, there's a couple of groups within a few of the groups that are like former Galatasaray fans that used to live in Turkey. So you've got like Galatasaray fans, Besiktas fans, and all of them. But the thing is and it's crazy. And I asked them how they interact with each other in Atlanta, but they're like, we're Atlanta United fans. So because we're Atlanta United fans, we're all in one. But they're like Besiktas, Galatasaray, stuff like that. Those are the guys. And I see we got a Kunji in the chat, but yeah. Kunji can attest. Those guys, they're the ones that after the game, they bring flares, because flares are legal in most MLS stadiums. But they're the guys that'll stand outside for like 3 hours with flares after a win. They are the craziest but scariest dudes you will ever see. But it's because Besiktas, Galatasaray, you know what I'm saying? Those types of fans are kind of those ones you don't want to cross in the first place.
Yeah.
But yeah, as Akunji said, Orlando hates everybody, and we hate Orlando.
Okay.
So, but he's an Atlanta United fan, so yes, they definitely hate Orlando. And then you've got the
team in the MLS, Orlando.
Orlando, no, Miami is the most hated now.
Miami, because of the Messi move, or
a lot of fans hate Miami because of what Messi did, which is increased ticket prices by about 100%.
No, that's fair. I get that.
So they don't like them, but the thing is like, if you're going by, like, say, the most hated, it's either going to be New York Red Bulls or NYCFC. NYCFC has a stigma of they have some extremely far right fans.
Okay.
That do a salute that is banned in the country of Germany.
Okay.
They literally have been filmed, and people still see them to this day. Yeah, oh hell yeah.
Oh
wow. They do that in that, but the thing is the reason a lot of people don't like NYCFC is NYCFC knows about it and acts like it doesn't exist.
Okay.
Well, they act like they don't exist. They're like, oh, we don't have that here. And it's like, dude, I've watched enough NYCFC games. Like when they came to Atlanta, when they went to Charlotte. Yes, I've seen that salute. I know what that salute is. And that salute will get your ass beat in a lot of countries.
Wow. I didn't know that.
Except for there.
That's
a thing that's slow. And I don't like it. That's a slow thing that's starting to move into the stadium. But the thing, and it's a good, it's a good thing when a lot of the fans are left leaning, either central to left, if that makes sense. They're either non-political or they're left leaning. They push those types of fans out, which is always the best way of doing it. But it like Akunji said, yes, a lot of NYCFC fans are that word. But for me, a majority of NYCFC fans aren't that. But that's why they are hated. Red Bull New York fans, the reason why a lot of them are hated, one is because it's Red Bull. Two, it's pretty much. Except in Austria. Well, yeah, they're hated in Austria too.
they hated in Austria, yeah, by the actual.
But yeah, basically anybody associated with Red Bull, except for like say their hockey team or their extreme teams, and even I don't like Red Bull Munich because of the Red Bull Association, but they're a great team. But yeah, it's because of the Red Bull thing. It's because of their players are over ambitious going into a tackle.
All right.
They tend to collect legs as they go. So they're a physical team. It's a little different physicality compared to like say a Mats Hummels tackle or a Pavard tackle. That's physical. Casemiro tackle. They're more of Ramos on meth.
All right.
So, but yeah. So for me, those are probably the most hated ones. Charlotte, yeah, Charlotte is a reputation of kind of like a Leipzig version because their owners were 17 billion, which is only like 3 billion behind Sheikh Mansour. He paid the highest amount to get it. He paid 300 and something million just to get into the league. And then went and bought Swiderski from Poland, bought Józwiak from Poland. You know what I'm saying? Bought all these other guys and thought, hey, we're going to buy our way in. A lot of outside fans see them as more of a manufactured fan base because it's not a really solid soccer or football city centric.
All right.
So I mean, they kind of see them that way. For me, being there and knowing the Leipzig thing, I don't see it that way. I still see it kind of manufactured, but not not as corporatized manufacturing as fucking Leipzig. That shit was So, but yeah,
check all these teams out, man, and get a picture myself. Yeah. Excited. Definitely before 2026. I've never been to the US, and I don't want it to be the first time in 2026. I want to go before. So yeah.
Oh, and Akunji did bring up a good point. Have you ever heard of a PSL?
Nope. What's that?
It's a personal seat license. So to buy season tickets, like for Charlotte, you have to pay like say a supporter section ticket runs, I don't know, $2,000 a season, right? It's $2,000 a season for whatever seat. Depending on what level of seat you're at, you're paying $1,000 just for the right to buy season tickets.
What the fuck? Yeah. I've never seen that. Wow.
So the thing is like if you want a lower section ticket, which is, you know what I'm saying, some of the higher end tickets, you may pay $2,500 just for the right to buy season tickets. And so you pay the PSL price every year.
Insane. Plus the actual ticket price.
Yeah. So the thing is if tickets are $1,500, you're paying say $2,000 for the PSL plus the $1,500. So tickets are $3,500.
That is mad.
Instead of $1,500.
Do they sell out every game, or why do they do that?
It's to offset like say stadium costs. So, but the thing is Charlotte Stadium was built in 1996. So
it's not new, is it?
Hell no, and they ain't made no upgrades worth of shit except for a cool little fucking board that's outside that kind of looks kind of like the ad boards around the stadium.
Yeah, okay.
It's basically that same type of goofy shit. But besides that, yeah, I don't understand. But yeah, if you go to Atlanta, you've seen the thing of the
crazy.
Yes, but if you've seen the U.S. beer prices, like you can get a can of beer and it'll cost you damn near $20 at a stadium, right?
I don't think I'm gonna be in the US to be.
But the thing is like, but like if you get like beer, food, stuff like that, sometimes in some stadiums, Charlotte included, it'll cost you $60 to feed
I've seen that from
2 people.
There's a page that
But
always posts those.
Yeah, the footy scran.
Yeah.
But if you go to Atlanta, there is not a uptick in price like that. It is basically like you can get Akunji would have to confirm it, but you can get like a Coke, like say chicken tenders and fries. It'll cost you like $8.
Oh wow. Oh wow.
So I mean, yeah,
that's
yeah.
Considering they have a fancy stadium, they could be using the argument to offset. They don't. That's cool.
But the thing is, now, granted, now if you look at some of their lower level seats, like if you want to sit in the big fancy schmancy seats, yeah, them shits is expensive.
That's
but
expensive everywhere.
The food in that stadium, and the crazy thing is in Atlanta, it's not like a lot of stadiums where it's like, oh, well, you have like say stadium hamburger or a stadium this or a stadium that. No, they have like actual fucking restaurants that run the stands. So it would be like, oh, we're going to a Bojangles, which is like a chicken place. They've got Molly, I think they've got Molly B's still, which is kind of like Southern cooking type stuff. You can get like barbecue. I mean, it's fucking insane. Yeah, I spend way too much money when I go to fucking Atlanta.
I need to
way too fucking much.
I need to go.
Yes.
There, wow.
100%. If you make it over when you make it over here and you go to an Atlanta game, me, my camera guy, Akunji, Devon will show you the ins and outs of Atlanta United.
Beautiful.
And I know the media guy really well, so he's a Bayern fan. So, but he's also a Germany fan, so he'll probably definitely know who you are through all the social media that he does and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, we'll get you intertwined into the world that is Atlanta.
Wow, Atlanta just went
and Atlanta United
of the MLS stadiums. Yeah. Wow, nice.
Yeah,
and
plus you've got that weird opening thing where it kind of goes like this and all that kind of shit. And that's actually where one of the World Cup spots as well.
Yeah.
So 2026 it's a host city. So yeah. So if you come by early, we can get you ready to go, and then when you come back in 2026, we'll be ready because I'll be there in 2026 for the games in Atlanta. I'm not buying no fucking ticket to that shit because that shit's expensive. But I'll be out there partying with whichever group's out there. Because I mean, you can't go wrong going to a World Cup city.
I love it.
I just want the culture. Damn the game on the field, unless it's Germany. Besides that, could give a shit. But I want to be out there. Hopefully, it's like, I don't know. I'd love to see like Haiti or somebody like that make it, just because their culture's fucking insane as far as games. But like, I don't know, Brazil, Colombia, as long as it's not fucking England. I don't like I don't need Atlanta burned down for the second fucking time.
Wow.
Goddamn.
Wow.
Well, yeah, I mean, it was burned to the ground once. But yeah, we don't need the English doing the same damn thing. Honestly, I want to say it was an Englishman that burnt the damn thing down the first fucking time.
Shit.
Yeah, Akunji, you're gonna have to check that map. You'll have to tell me that in Facebook. But yeah, I want to say that that somebody burned it. An Englishman burned it down the first time. We don't need that to happen again. It's too nice now. They got $1 billion stadium. We can't burn that thing down. But yeah, you get to Atlanta.
I will.
Yeah. You.
Nice, man. Good to know.
All right, we're gonna jump off here because shit, we went to
it was
an hour and 49.
Nice.
It's fun.
Nice.
But yeah, we'll bring you on during the season, stuff like that, and you can be our third man with all the cool insights to the world that none of us broke asses can ever get to. So we're gonna live vicariously through you.
We'll experience Atlanta together though. That's gonna be
hell yeah.
Well,
yeah,
nice.
That'll be fun. So, and hopefully there's like a concert there too. Like, yeah, we can get you in the State Farm Arena. Then we'll get you to it'll be fun. Because Devon knows enough like fancy pants people. So we'll see if we can find a TI or one of those. I don't know. Devon knows Ludacris. Maybe we could figure that out. We can get that collab going. That'd be kind of awesome.
I'm down.
Fiago and Ludacris. Oh Lord, that's a collab you probably never thought would happen.
Never thought.
Yes, now we definitely need that. So, but yeah, we'll go ahead and get you out of here. It was fun.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Yes, sir. Now go get some sleep.
I will. Yeah. I will have to.
All right, guys. Thanks for hanging out for the first episode. I appreciate everybody coming out for this. We're going to try to do this at least once a week, but we'll let you know next time we come on. Thank you, sir.